Welcome back to Books on Tap. I'm your host, Dylan. That's your host, Ryland. And that's your host, Kieran. Welcome. We're talking about part 4 and 5 of Tress of the Emerald Sea today.
Part 5 and 6.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. 5 and 6, not 4 and 5. We already did part 4. And I guess let's jump right into it, guys. What did you think?
Go.
Thoughts on the ending? Or
I'm
not the
not
ending.
going. I'm not going first this time.
Not going
When
first.
you go, when you guys can go.
Yeah, I feel like I probably haven't gone first in a while. All right, I loved it. It was so good. I don't know. It's incredible how every single Brandon Sanderson book I read, it's like the first half is kind of like eh, and then like the second half is just like absolute fire and makes all of the first half like feel so impactful afterwards. Like you needed all that backstory. Like you wouldn't want it to be any less, you know. Um, and Brandon magically delivers again. I loved the I loved his postscript on this one, talking about the influences for the story, for the
Princess
tone,
Bride.
Princess Bride, and The Good Place for the tone, or sorry, Good Omens, not The Good Place. Um, and I don't know, I loved how every character had a full story arc that all came to a close and like it, relating to the events in the book in such like it felt like such like a tightly knit way. Um, and yeah, I loved Wit's narration throughout this bits. I thought it was really nice his like commentary on everyone's stories and like why he thought that they were important and stuff and good lessons and yeah, I don't know, it just made me cry a bunch, so it's good.
Damn, that's
Big
big,
praise.
big praise. Yeah,
You want to go next round?
sure. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thought the characters definitely. It was nice that they all had their own stories. Some fun twists. I like how we did complain about Charlie being a character we didn't care about, and then we loved Huck. So that was cool today. Remedied that, and yeah, I thought the twists were unpredictable and fun. It's really cool how they use the spores again and the sorceress. It's kind of all I don't know, a bit cheese, but like when you're in it, it felt really good. It felt really fun. It was definitely like a fairy tale feeling. Um, and yeah, no, I definitely think it was a lot better in the first half. But yeah, like you said, Dylan, I now looking back, I don't know how much more you could change to make it as good of ending as it was. Yeah, Hoyt's commentary was good. Times definitely him being an idiot for like still was annoying. Still pretty annoying.
I thought he was just an idiot in like the most like ridiculous ways. Like
Yeah, I just got
the most over the top it could possibly be is
yeah, which was better than it being like half as jank because
uh,
fully went into it, but um, yeah, do we know who the sorceress is?
not that I'm aware of.
No.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're returned from Warbreaker.
yeah, me too. But it's not one of the sisters, right? The sisters' names
No,
were not.
no.
Okay. I
Um,
didn't think so.
maybe I'll look that up actually.
It's a returned who's lived for a really long time. Never sacrificed their power.
What you, Kieran?
I'm interested. I was interested to hear what your first impressions would be because I feel like I didn't give this book its due because I did not like it that much.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I think I grinded it too hard probably and rushed it. So that did not help for sure. But like Yumi and the Nightmare Painter almost got me with too much cheese, I feel like. But I held out against the cheese. But this book, the cheese overflowed the container, and all I could taste was cheese at the end for some of the parts. I wasn't a fan of Hoyd's narration, which makes me sad because all of the secret projects are Hoyd. And there's going to be a standalone Hoyd book, as Brandon says in the postscript. So I hope something about it is different, or
Well,
something.
he won't use that narrative. Like he's not going to be.
Yeah, it'll be from a different. Like it won't be as whimsical or mysterious, which is what he said, which is good. Yeah, definitely some enjoyable parts though. I still really liked a lot of the characters. I still really like Tress. I loved Huck being Charlie. That was great. Definitely resolved one of my complaints from early on, and that was like a perfect way to do it. That was unexpected, and he's great. He's like the best character, so that was awesome. Yeah, I just think the sequence of events at the end was just too felt like a kid's book in a not satisfying way for me. Like it was like the villains just weren't villainous. They were cartoonish. Yeah. I don't know. It didn't capture me. The spark never lit for me with this one. It was like it fell flat a bit for me. But always with this podcast, I feel better about the book after talking about it with you guys. So I'm excited to see where we go with this. So that's where I'll leave it for now. Yeah.
Yeah, I did just look up who the sorceress was. Apparently, she's an Elantrian.
Oh, okay.
And apparently, uh, she was part of the group that Kelsier ran into when he was in Mistborn
Oh.
Secret History.
Again. Oh, never mind. Not the same group from in one of the Storm Archive.
No, in
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
In Shadesmar in the Cognitive Realm.
Secret History.
Yeah, when he runs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like those traveling people.
Yeah. That organization that I think he tried to steal the thing from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Fortress.
I believe so.
Yeah, it being very fair. Like the one part was like, yeah, with the villain not being villainous, you saying that. I never felt like Tress was in danger. She was just like laughing, and I was like, what? Like, this person kills everyone. Like, why wouldn't they just kill you?
Yeah, yeah.
Just,
It's like
just
there was no like ominous factor at all. Like I didn't.
Yeah, no, there definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
and like the dragon part too was like, oh come on, guys, like this is ridiculous.
The dragon part was very no you.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I had to lean into it more. I'm sure I could have leaned into it more and appreciated it, like I did with Yumi. But I wasn't. I wasn't fully free to do that.
Yeah,
by my own fault.
I think Yumi was probably more teen cheesy, and this was more like Disney cheesy, which I think is
that's a perfect way to put it. I think
this very much felt like a Pixar film.
Yeah,
is kind of how I imagine this. Is like a Pixar film.
I also found Hoyd was like kind of over explaining everyone's characters a little bit too much. He's like, oh, this is something that you should find notable about this person. And if you didn't know yet, you should know. And this is what it is. And that happened like 10 times. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know about this. But
yeah, I feel like that's a fair criticism.
Yeah.
I liked it being like spelled out. Like I get having it come across in like more subtle writing is more like impactful and better writing, but like I don't know, sometimes I enjoy stuff just being like spelled out to me.
Yeah, that's legit. It's like I don't know. They are. It's like it's important messages and themes. This
it feels
yeah.
interesting when it's like coming from the perspective of Hoyd, I guess. Although, yeah, if Hoyt had more of like a character personality, I think it would be a bit more impactful. But as of right now, he's kind of just like silly
A
dude that
mystery
likes
man,
telling
silly dude.
stories.
Yeah.
Who's immortal and jumps around the Cosmere. So if he had a bit more perspective, I think it might make it more impactful him saying things from his perspective. But I also get the need for him to kind of be like the eccentric bard character.
Yeah. Yeah. He fits the bill of what he's previously been. Yeah, it didn't. The humor never worked for me either from Hoyd. But
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
sometimes, like 1 out of 10, or I'd say 10% of the time, I was like, "That's good." But then most of the time, I'd be like, just it's complete neutral
It's
response
like,
for me.
oh, I want to
Yeah,
paint on velvet. Why would
so
you
it tastes
paint
Yeah.
on
good.
velvet? And it's like, of
Yeah,
course, so it has texture when you lick it. Like, duh, you idiot. So,
yeah,
Yeah.
um,
These last few books, it's just tough to like get into. I feel like the vibe you need to be in to read the book, like it being a Pixar versus movie feeling. Like I feel like if I came into it with that expectation, it would have been a lot better. And I got there more as the book went on, but I feel like I got there a bit later than I would have liked. I don't know how to get better at adapting, or just I think it's just tough when it's the same author we're reading. And we have an idea of what he's like, and then it's a he's trying different things, which is really cool. But I think that it changes our expectations going in, which
um, yeah, I feel like I don't really feel that too much. Like I'm kind of going in with the expectation that it could be what could be anything, but it's the same all the time though. I feel like even if it's in a different genre, it's the same writing. Like it feels
yeah.
very
I think
comfortable, I think.
I agree with both of you. I agree with Ryland in terms of like with Yumi being like a soap opera. That wasn't. I enjoyed the book so much more when I let myself like be in that mode of like this is a soap opera. It can be cheesy in the specific way, and that's what he's going for. Um, but yeah, at the same time, it's still Brandon Sanderson. Like still the same elements of his writing still come through. So like for this one, I never entered the vibe of it being a fairy tale, even though I knew it was a fairy tale the whole time. Whereas with Yumi, I did enter the vibe of being a soap opera. So
Mm,
and it did affect me a lot, my enjoyment of the book. So
that's fair. Did you guys see Huck being Charlie before it happened?
no, should have. I feel like, but
I think it was there, but I feel like a lot of Brandon's ones is like it was there, but like you would have been kind of insane if you had predicted it, you know?
well, I think the us like saying and coming to like this is really weird how unsatisfying it's gonna be if we just get Charlie at the very end was a big clue that like maybe maybe there's something
That
else
is
going on
true.
here.
That
yeah,
is true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I
kind
thought
of
it was a
close,
really
but
good twist. I thought it was a really well done twist because I think it addresses that concern so well, I think.
yeah.
Um, and I don't know, I just thought it was a really good plot twist and like a in inversion of like the kind of expectation for this kind of story.
yeah, definitely agree. Probably my favorite part of the book was that twist.
Yep.
So so what happens in this part in part 5 and 6?
In
Um,
part
We
5,
yeah,
yeah
Tress gets really good at doing spore magic.
yeah
I really like the spore magic. I think that's probably the strongest thing. Is like, yeah, I remember in the postscript he was talking about like he had the things, and one of the things he had like three things, and one of them was a magic system, a setting based on a magic system, and that is so what this is like a whole world and concept just built off of like this one thing, this one magic system. Yeah, and so I really like how he really fleshed out the like a whole world based on this one concept about the spores in the ocean. Uh, and I don't know, it's just such an interesting like place to have stories take place, I think.
Yep, totally. I agree with that. I really liked the part where Hoyd's explaining how a cannonball works
Hmm.
with the 3 different types of spores interacting with each other, and the vine being a fuse that's fed by water that breaks the rosite, which releases the water capsule inside, and then it's like a sequence of events that causes the delayed explosion. It's really cool,
Yeah,
and you could
I
and
like
it
how
was
he
easy to follow
includes.
too.
Yeah, I like how he includes that kind of stuff because it's all like basic real world physics, but explained with like magic science. I don't know. I love it. It's so like simple yet so engaging, I think.
Yeah, you forget that it's a completely made up system, and you're just like, oh yeah, that would work. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that's a real thing, and you're like, and that's I have to applaud him for that for sure.
yeah. Very
Yeah,
Rhythm of War,
yeah,
Navani style.
yeah. Science, magic science.
Magic science. But yeah, I really liked all of Tress's experimenting with that stuff, and I like the kind of way that like it's kind of like she thinks it's so great, or she doesn't think it's so great at first, and then everyone's like, "Oh, it's so great," and then like the source just is like, "This is child's play. Everyone's doing this."
Yeah, like
Yeah.
So
literally 3 other nations on your same planet have done this already.
yeah,
Yeah,
and so it's like I think it's like kind of I thought it was well put in like the place where it's like localized versus like outer world, and then like the characters' perspectives on how like insane the discovery is. I think was well uh, like talked about.
yeah, and we talked about how Tress is like too OP last time too, and that's a good like kind of reminder that she is really smart, but it's not like
Yeah,
this isn't crazy.
not
But she still
super
took down the
crazy.
sorceress. Like that was
Yeah,
weird. The sorceress was like, "Oh yeah, everyone's done this before," and they're just like, "Oh my goodness, you destroyed all my soldiers." I'm like, "What?"
yeah,
Yeah,
Everyone's
that's what I'm talking about though. That's what I don't like about that part, but we'll get to that.
yeah. That bit was
Yeah,
weird.
yeah,
But first there was the whole attempted coup on the ship, and then apparently Crow had some midnight essence and then caught them.
The Midnight Essence seems so OP. Like the fact that there's a sea full of it. I guess it's hard to get there because of the Crimson Sea.
One, it's hard to get to. Two, it's got kind of a restriction, and you need a lot of water to feed it.
Yeah.
yeah. And also you can bribe the creatures too
Hmm.
and take control of them. So
Yeah, it felt very similar to like the Spren in the Unmade type thing in what's it called? We're through.
Mm. Yeah, I'm just saying
oh
it's like
yeah,
such an abundant resource.
Yeah.
It's like crazy to have that on a planet. Anyone can use it, basically. But I guess it's really tough to get to.
Hmm. What'd you guys
Uh,
think of the coup on the ship? Exciting bits.
that was a good scene. Yeah.
yeah, that was
So
super cool.
it's like I kept expecting like Crow and like some motivation of Crow to be revealed, like some backstory or like some deep backstory of why she is the way she is, but no,
No,
she's just an asshole the whole time.
just an
Yeah,
asshole, and then gets
yeah,
yeah. How
I
did
think
you
she's
guys feel
completely
about the
legitimate though. She's on death's door. She's just like doing literally anything she can to survive. Doesn't expect to survive. So Like, you know, I felt like there was no need for backstory. I feel like it was fully explained.
It worked, but I was like
Yeah.
expecting something different because it was like this is such a prominent character the whole time, and you're like, is it really just that she just wants to survive at all costs? And it was. So
She's also beast. Without even using her spores, just destroy everyone.
yeah, just like laughing, evil laughing while like shooting people.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like if you can shoot
overboard.
Legart, you're free to go. It's like what?
Yeah. Epit was weird.
And she's like, and then Anne's about to shoot her, and she's like, ha ha ha, do it, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And then she misses.
Bit ridiculous.
Classically.
Yeah, that was pretty evil though.
Crow.
Yeah. Well, that specific part where she's just like, I know you suck at aiming, and your entire like, you hate your life because you're bad at aiming. So I'm gonna make you miss right now because I know you will, and you'll just feel like a failure.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's good at breaking people. How'd you guys feel about
But then the freaking dragon sequence.
dragon sequence? That's what I was gonna say.
Stupid, bro.
Yeah, it was the negotiation bit was a bit wacko.
Yeah, I mean, when I stepped back, I thought it was
because
funny.
I'm gonna try and escape.
It's like,
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I liked the dragon, like as a just removed from the book. If you just talk about the dragon, I loved how chill the dragon was. It was good.
Yeah.
Like I just enjoyed it. Being like, everyone who works for me, we got unionized employee benefits.
Yeah.
We got.
I like that. I like that
he's like, we get 3 meals a day. Good, it's good shit down here. He's like,
good.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I just promoted my previous cleaner, so we need someone for that position. They're not making minimum wage anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised Crow didn't put more of a fight. Verbally.
yeah, it was really.
Well, when she got
That's
told
pretty
that that's the only way she could survive too. I was
Yeah,
kind of at the end,
that was
but
the other
like
thing I was gonna say.
then
Yeah, very convenient.
yeah, she'll never try to escape.
Yeah, it's a part that I enjoyed reading a lot, but I thought it was pretty goofy.
Yeah, I agree. Like I
Yeah.
enjoyed it just because it was kind of weird, but yeah, it was goofy. Goofy dialogue there, for sure.
Goofy dialogue, and then Crow. It just felt like an unsatisfying end to Crow. But it wasn't that unsatisfying because Crow wasn't really that much of a character to begin with. She's just kind of like a villain. Very clear motivation.
Yeah, it was kind of like Treasure Island pirate has been defeated type thing.
Yeah, the mini boss has been defeated.
Yeah. And then after that, they try sailing. Oh, we also missed the bit where Tress avoids the Crimson Sea by like sprouting a tree underneath the ship. That was pretty cool. That was pretty dope.
That was cool. That was good. That was good.
That's a crazy invent. That's such a big brain play.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that aspect of it, and then the whole thing about the storms and the Crimson Sea, I thought was quite cool.
Yeah, and I like how
Yeah.
she's controlling the vines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, control
like,
lines.
Rise.
Yeah, with
Come to me.
Yeah.
good old investiture, giving things sentience.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember also just like at the time when they were talking about the storms and the Crimson Sea, just like the visual image of the spikes like sprouting up from the sea, like these jagged spiky bits like coming out. I thought that was just such cool imagery. like spiking up into the sky instead of down. I don't know, just
Mm.
I thought just such a cool imagery.
Yeah, the storm was really cool. I really like Toyd's narration at that part, talking about how the storm has it's not sentient, but it feels sentient,
Mm.
and like how we relate that to on Earth, how we talk about storms and how sailors talk about storms.
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, that was quite well written, I thought, or just like maybe not well written. I don't know if that's the right word to describe it, but it was very ham-fisted. But like,
Yeah, it was just cool. It's just
yeah,
cool
I
to think
enjoyed
about.
it. Yeah.
Cool idea. I also really, really enjoyed the part where Tress cooks next to Fort. And they just talk about the trading,
Oh yeah,
the
Yeah.
trade battle between them
the trade
with the
battle was
food.
so good.
And then it looks like she's won the trade battle. She's
Yeah.
gotten very good at haggling. And then he's like, "This is the greatest trade ever made. That one meal is worth every meal ever made my whole life. I'll write 3 pages home about this." Like part about his people being all about the hunt, but you can't just have everyone be a hunter. So like everyone's hunt is different, everyone's pursuit in life.
Yeah.
You
That was
like
really
have a
cool.
different. You put trophies on your wall about the things that you've hunted successfully in your life.
I
It's
thought
trades
yeah,
for
I thought
him.
that was such a well
Yeah.
done. I don't know. I feel like all the main characters all had that little aspect, and I thought all of their arcs with like their mini stories I thought were so well executed. I thought are just like in the context of the story and how they resolved their things in the book and how they used their strengths to solve problems, like Fort with the trading at the end, and with shooting with Lagart at the end.
Yeah, shooting.
That was
Yeah, that was awesome.
I just thought that was so heartfelt.
Yeah, and like getting the gifts from the 3 small gifts from the dragon and
Yeah.
distributing them among the
Yeah,
crew,
that was
like
neat.
put a bow on top of those stories, kind of ending
Mhm.
and coming full circle. Yeah,
Yeah, it was,
basically everything with the crew was awesome. In the
Yeah,
last 2 parts.
I thought the crew was a very big strong point in terms of like the arc of like events happening in the book, even though they aren't like major plot points, but the way that they were in like it felt like they were very intricately inserted in so that like they were concise characters. They weren't like they basically were exactly their backstories and then their like single plot points.
Yeah, they had a very. They all closed the loop very well
Yeah.
on what we're expecting.
and calling the rest Doug's was a good idea.
It was funny.
Except for that one guy who died. And that was a good part too. When Hoyt was like, every Doug has a backstory, and they're not called Doug. One guy died.
Yep.
He loved music, but he never became a musician. And he always secretly regretted not trying. And it was like, that was a beautiful part where it's like, you're kind of honored the dead for a second. And,
Yeah.
I spent a couple of pages explaining this guy's life as he died.
That was beautiful. And yeah, I was so sad when Fort's device got destroyed by Crow. That was
Oh man.
such a heartbreaking moment.
Yeah, that was so sad.
Yeah.
He only lost it for 10 minutes though. So
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
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 And the whole thing with that being how the sorceress was spying on them was pretty. I
Yeah,
thought
like an
that was
iPad.
such a good point, like good little twist on there.
Yeah, and
That
Hoyt's
was a
like, oh, they
weird
didn't.
explanation. Yeah.
Yeah, no security measures put on them. Should have known.
Yeah. Well, it was like he made it sound like it's like in like the phone settings, the
Yeah,
accessibility was turned on or something like that. Like
exactly. Like by
Yeah.
default, like when you get it, it's it's turned on,
the
and of
firewall's
course,
on.
yeah, they wouldn't think to turn it off.
That was pretty jank. What happens next? So Tress becomes the captain of the ship.
Hmm.
Everyone's chilling, and they go to the Midnight Sea. and then Huck betrays everyone. We
Mm.
think by making
He'd toss all the
Boyd
food
throw away
overboard.
some food.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the crew come together and brainstorm the ways to survive the dangerous sea. That was a cool moment. And Tress is just like overwhelmed.
Yeah, because you feel like she's been doing everything
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah, I
time.
think it was.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
I thought that was another like really good, just like plot point where it's like, oh yeah, Tress is just so overwhelmed with everything. She,
He's actually useless for the next 2 weeks.
yeah, I don't know. I felt, yeah, it was very human. I thought
Yeah.
relying on your friends.
yeah, and like I think something Brandon was going for was he was trying to subvert the expectations and the tropes in some ways with Tress.
Hmm.
Like he was saying in the postscript with the Princess Bride, like what if the princess was actually not useless for the entire story? And part of that was like, yeah, your friends, your companions of the main character are actually useful. They have good ideas. They have their own backstories. So that was cool. So Tress and Huck go to the island, and the reveal happens.
Or what did you guys think about the whole thing with her sailing out alone and ignoring Saleh? Being like, nope, I'm just gonna go by myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It made sense, I
that
guess.
that whole thing seemed very like, okay, if they did this any other way, they would have died. Like this was
yeah,
kind
I was
of,
okay with that. I thought it was good.
Well, Ford came up with a great idea, I guess, after. So if they would have just came up with
Like
the idea before,
that was a
yeah.
weird idea though. It's like we'll bribe the monsters
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
our own food, with our own water storage,
That was nuts.
and
And
we'll
like
we'll
we're
say we'll
aligned.
kill ourselves.
Yeah, we'll say we'll kill yourself. They were all ready.
It's so good. I thought that bit was sick. I thought that was so well
Yeah,
done. Like that like the trading thing, it concluded his story so well.
Yeah, that was dope.
yeah. Everyone got to use their skill, which didn't seem like a skill at all until that point.
Yeah, I feel like that's it's such a Brandon actually like trope almost. Everyone having their like individual skill that's needed to accomplish the goal, like Mistborn and yeah, and same
Yeah,
with yeah, Mistborn Era 1 and Era 2, I think very much so.
Or else you're gonna get
He
called
likes his
out. Like
heists. He likes his heists and his team building exercises.
yeah. What was the guy's name in part one that we kept roasting? That didn't. I kept
Ham.
roasting mostly. Ham, yeah. That's what happens if you don't get used, man. You get roasted for life.
you're roasted for life, and then you die.
Yeah,
He doesn't die actually. So
No,
basically does, bro.
he died
yeah,
in
he
our
dies in our hearts and
hearts.
minds.
Yeah. Yep. And then they arrive on the island, and yeah, the sorceress says the whole time, I'm like, I gotta figure out who the fuck this is. Like, this has gotta be someone
Yeah,
Cosmere related. Yeah, yeah. Apparently not a returned an Elantrian, according to online
we don't know. One of
sources.
the ones we haven't read. One of the only ones we haven't read.
Yeah, Lantris.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sorceress is pretty mid.
Yeah, I agree. Sorceress was kind of lame. I feel like she couldn't really have been much more with like, it was kind of just like she's there at the end just for like 2 seconds, and that's about it. She would
Didn't
if she was to be any more substantial, she needed to have popped up more in the story, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, she just came off as just silly. Like her motivations made no sense. Like she's just trying to like the whole concept of the curses having a very specific way to break them, and she's like trying to find the loopholes. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem very villainous, like very evil, even though
Yeah, I don't know. I
And
guess
then,
it's just inflicting
yeah.
cruelty. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it was spelt out as if it was like the worst thing. She's the worst human ever. She's the worst villain of all time. But then it's like, I don't know, just the vibe she gave off was like
Too
not
silly.
threatening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also true.
Yeah, her
And then
curses were pretty savage, but
They were, yeah.
and I guess she just wanted to live in peace, and so anyone who came up to her, she wanted to have them be cursed, so then they could be like evidence of why no one should come mess with her. But yeah, she did
yeah,
come off pretty
the
silly.
concept. I think the concept was good. It just wasn't executed in the way that I would have hoped.
Yeah, there
Because
also
it just
wasn't any
sounded.
explanation as to how she was powering all of the midnight essence. I just realized. Although if I bet you if we read some what's it called, we'd probably get an idea if we knew what Elantrians were.
Oh yeah,
But
maybe she's just drinking water a lot.
And how she does the curses too. Is that explained?
Oh, I guess we'd have to. No, it's not explained. Being Elantris. She's like, I'll curse you, Huck, Charlie, so that you have to bring her Tress here, and then I'll curse her right in front of you. Ha ha! It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's very like
Yeah.
Pixar-y, you know.
yeah. But it's okay because the ship battle was awesome, and working with I can't remember the other guy's name. The guy who was an asshole, but he became less of an
Sermoness,
asshole. Yeah.
something. His name's something. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty heartfelt moment where it was like, or it was Legart. It was Legart.
Yeah.
Cause like when he finally realized he was an asshole,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then he finally comes in and is like helping out Anne. I don't know. I just it felt nice.
Yeah. That was cheesy in a good way. It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he comes in and she's like, "Well, I can fucking imprison you if you want," but he's
Oh
like,
yeah,
he just like cries and leaves, and
Yeah, yeah,
he has an existential crisis in that moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't prison me. He's like, so happy.
Do that for
Really do that
me.
for me? Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
oh shucks.
yeah.
Thanks, Tress.
Yeah, but yeah, cool sequence with the cannon, and then yeah, very very movie like when she's like she gives the command or she gives the last instruction to like adjust the cannon right before he does.
hmm Yeah,
It's like
that
yes,
bit I
it
thought
is
was pretty
correct.
cringe,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that was one of the most cringe
very
bits I
Pixar.
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's like okay, y-
we get it.
yeah,
You're working together. They go there. Hoyt instantly cured when he
yeah, I think
arrived.
so. And then he
Okay.
suddenly pops in there and fucking blocks them with a light shield.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty.
And then he's like, I don't know, the ending where Tress is like, no, we're not gonna leave. You're gonna
Gonna
leave,
leave.
Sorceress. And then everyone's like,
Yeah.
puts up their hand or like a gun or something, and she's like, I guess
And
that's
then her,
that's it for me.
then her and her dick ship leave the planet. Remember when Hoyd was like describing the
Yeah,
spire, and
yeah.
he's like, who was it that was like they didn't think these dirty thoughts about about it.
and Tress was like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Tress didn't think about it, but it looked like a big penis.
Yeah. They did say though, like, she's like, it made a point when you've lived for that long, you're just like she can continue on You know, she's like, if there's a 1 in 5 chance that she would lose, she wouldn't ever risk it. That's how she's lived so long.
Yeah,
That was kind of
which
fair.
makes sense, I think.
Yeah, it's logical. It
But
just
it was
like,
weird.
the visual was so
The
jank,
guns?
it's so ridiculous. Yeah. And then Hoyd
Hoyd,
being like,
you got something?
fine, all right,
Yeah.
puts up his hand. It's like,
Yeah. I wonder if she knows that Hoyd can't harm anybody.
I guess not. That's it.
That's it. That was the
Everyone lives
book.
happily ever after.
Yeah.
hmm
Hoyd's like, oh yeah, I changed the parameters of the curse so that instead of your curse you have to verse you. And I'll read you a poem, Tress.
That was
You'll
really
be
jank.
healed.
It was
I can't
Oh.
undo it, but I could do everything to make it undo it. I'm like, okay, you undid it.
Change the parameters.
Yeah.
I thought that was I thought it was
It was
interesting.
fitting. It was fitting for the novel.
It was fine. It was okay.
Yeah.
I died a little bit inside, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty memes.
Yeah. So basically, I feel better about it now because of talking to you guys, as I predicted. But
Memes were
my ultimate conclusion is that everything with the crew, I enjoyed reading and I loved. Everything about the main story plot, I did not like that much. So all
And
the main
world,
events.
The world was sick.
Yeah, the world was sick.
The world was awesome, and I think that's what made it a good book. Still.
Yeah, the world absolutely made it, I think.
Yeah. Like the
world,
spores, all different seas. I was like, this is really, really neat.
Storms, the interactions with the crew, all positives. Dragon, the sorceress, and crow. All the villains, all the supposed villains, fell very flat for me.
Yeah, agreed. They had their purpose, but yeah, it was not a very interesting.
Yeah, it was to move the plot along.
Yeah.
All right.
Ups and downs, highlights and lowlights.
Hi. I'll go the food conversation / trading with Fort, or the Huck Charlie reveal.
Yeah, the Huck Charlie reveal I think was really good. Maybe I'll say at the time I thought the growing the tree under the ship I thought was super sick.
I think the coup was really cool. Honestly, I really like that part. It's really intense. It's one of my favorite parts. And the Huck reveal for sure.
I'm trying to think what my low would be. Probably some bits of cringe dialogue. I really didn't like that ant. Some of the dialogue I liked the concept of the Anne Lagarde part, but like halfway through that I was like, okay, I get it. It's a bit too happy-go-lucky, you know?
Yeah.
And like perfect synergy, I think was just a bit unnecessary to show the point. I'm trying to think what else.
The part was definitely. Well, I don't know. It was goofy, but I feel like the ending was even goofier. Like the cursed verse thing, and like her leaving with like everyone pointing guns at the sorceress. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Then yeah, I'll just say it again. The villains.
Yeah,
as a general thing.
The villains,
yeah,
I think were a low point for sure. I can't disagree there.
Yeah. I think the soldiers getting defeated that easily was pretty lame. I didn't like that. And like with the comment of the sorcerer saying, "Oh, you think you have something figured out? You know nothing." And then and Tress using the tool that she made on the ship, which sorcerer saw her make, to defeat all the soldiers, and she was so shocked. And
Yeah, that's true. That's actually super jank.
It's really jank that she's like the biggest villain, and everyone's like, she's so powerful, she's invincible. And then it's like she literally comes in the last 3 chapters and instantly gets defeated.
Yeah.
By everything.
Yeah. I think once people got into the tower, it felt like everyone was just teleporting around a bit.
Yeah.
At the end, at least.
Yeah, we gotta speed this along. We gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
I will say actually I quite like that freeze frame where it's like freeze frame Huck's in the pot getting knocked by the cat down the stairs. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was good.
Yeah, I was like, this was written as a screenplay. I get that a lot actually from some of Brandon's stuff. That I feel like it's very screenplay.
This book would be a good movie. Be cool visuals.
He definitely achieved some of the vibe, Princess Bride, which he was going for. A lot of the vibe of it. So. Yeah, would I recommend this book? I don't know. I have to think about it more. But
I probably would.
Definitely not in my top Brandon Sanderson's, but I think it's a good book still. I would have a lot of caveats to give.
Yeah, that's super fair. I think it's a niche one. I think it's a niche one. I like my niche stuff, so I appreciate it. I think more than you guys maybe, but I did like.
Yeah.
I did.
Halfway through, I was talking to my sister, and I was like, "You should read this book.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd like it." I think this is the most child-friendly book of all the ones we've read.
Oh yeah, I think
definitely is.
Definitely.
I doubt she'll listen to me, but
yeah,
that'd be cool.
Has got anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. That wraps it up pretty well for me.
Good old Tress. All right. Well, we'll see you next time, guys. Tress.
Going back to Stormlight.
Yeah, back to Stormlight. Looks like maybe Sunlit Man, Wind of Truth, Knights of Winded Truth.
Maybe something else. Or reveal.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, maybe.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
If you want to follow
You're on the
with
edge
the
of your
book,
seat. Yeah.
so then when we release our commentary, you've read it. Then we should say it now. It's the what is it called again? The book that we actually think we're gonna do.
Oh, The Reluctant Fundamentalist.
There you go. That's what we're doing. Read that for next week.
Yeah. and
unlike us, we'll be hopefully halfway done.
The epilogue and the prologue and the first 4 chapters of Knights of Wind and Truth.
Yeah, or actually by next Monday there'll be another 2 chapters.
Okay. So the first 6.
Okay, the first 6 chapters.